How's it going? It's Charles Botenston. Today we're going to be talking about a book that hit me really, really hard. Like I'm reading the book, and you just start going and you start reading through this. Like, have you ever read a book and you put it down and you're like, wow, like literally something was like unveiled, like a lens was just open to this world of what humans are. Like, we feel that we're not part of the animal kingdom, when in fact we're the apex of the animal kingdom, but we're still in the animal kingdom. We still, we feel because we have creativity and thought and dreams and emotions and language, and we put meaning to everything. And I'll go over all this. Like, this book is absolutely incredible. It's a long read, it's a very detailed read. However, it will literally open your eyes to humans, like what we did and everything we've created. Like, we should really be proud of where we are and how lucky we are that we were born now in like this time, that I can communicate to you wherever you are in the world like that. You see a video, and that's exactly how you're getting information. Information traveled by word of mouth. There was no mail system back in the day. So literally, I'll just go over the broad general view. Sapiens is about human beings and what we've done literally from the beginning until now and in the future. In other words, bionics. And bionics, I mean what we're going to be able to do to ourselves. We're going to be able to remove and create genes based... Sorry about that. I had something in my mouth. We're going to be able to remove and create human beings based on what we want. Like, we're going to be able to create babies that are almost disease-free, that are immune to certain things that we may get sick from. We're literally creating a different species of human, which is unbelievable. We're not going to be leaving it up to Mother Nature to tell us what we are going to be allergic to, what we're going to die from, disease, and all these other ailments. We're going to be able to create a human that will be resilient and literally bionic, where an arm will lose an arm or something will happen, and we'll just be literally the Terminator. And we'll be able to download things into our brain immediately, kind of like the communication that we're doing now. That's in the future. So the book literally goes over, like I said, from the beginning of time to now. Okay, so I'm going to say two thoughts that I don't know if I've ever talked about this in other videos, but number one is that we put meaning on everything. We put meaning on everything. Okay, so first of all, we have language, and language obviously is an easy way to communicate, and it's an easy way to describe things and emotions which may not even be real. In other words, we're describing gravity. We can't see gravity, we can't feel gravity, we can only experience gravity, we can only experience an emotion. So we put a meaning to that, like shame. You can't be like, oh, that's shame right there, or that's happiness right there. We experience it and we put meaning to that. Perfect example is that everything we have, marriage, governments, companies, stock market, relationships, clothing that we wear and we feel special in it, or everything that we have, like rent and LLCs, are all made up. It's all made up. Everything we have is made up. We made it a prison. Being moral, having that was wrong. What do you mean that was wrong? We made up what was wrong. It's really deep and it's really hard. You have to think about it. Literally, just take what I'm saying, and if you disagree with it or you don't understand it, just have it ringing in your head, and then one day you'll be like, oh, I know what you're talking about. We put meaning on a judicial system, elections. We created everything. Currency. We created currency. I'm giving you something, and then you give me something. It's paper with ink on it. That's insane. And then we put meaning to who's wealthy, or I'm able to give you more pieces of paper with ink on it, and then I get a nicer home or a car or something like that. And then we tie our emotions, which are also made up, to that. So in other words, when I'm happy and I have a really nice house, or I'm not bankrupt, which is also made up, then I'm happy. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. So we created everything. It's all made up. It's all made up. Lions don't walk around and say, oh, I wonder what my bank account looks like. Should I go to my job today? I wonder if my wife, no, they act. They're animals. And that's the biggest difference between us and animals, or us and other animals, even though I just said that we're still animals. So in other words, the other biggest thing that two other things that I really got out of it, like this book is unreal. It's long, it's detailed. However, it will change your mind and your mindset on who we are. And we put meaning on everything. We put meaning on life and death and happiness and scarcity and abundance. And I approach, say, a girl at a bar and there's a lack of chemistry and she goes, no, you're not my type. I put meaning on that rejection. I ask for a raise and then I feel rejected. And there's reason behind that, is that back in the day when we lived in small tribes of 250 to 300 people, is that if you got rejected or you were shamed, you were outcasted from the group and you died. You needed the group to survive. You needed the fire. You needed the protection from other tribes, from other animals. You also needed to procreate, and that's where the women were in the tribes. So this is the biggest thing, is that we are still animals, and we need to understand that. We still need to understand that we have instinctual needs, and we make instinctual decisions. So in other words, that means when someone feels rejection, which is a made-up feeling, like that, and like going for happiness. Like, what is happiness? Happiness is really just being content and being gracious. And talking about being gracious, you have to be gracious that we are living in right now. You have to be living right now. Like gratitude that we're living right now. We are literally living in the most peaceful time ever, by far. Literally by far. As much as the news and all these other garbage outlets trying to be like, there's terrorism and there's war and da-da. We are living in like literally the safest time and the easiest time to get medical care and the best food and the best water and housing and clothing and everything. Literally before this, your chances of survival were minimal. That's why we just literally, I just spit on the camera. That's why we needed to procreate as much as we could, because babies dying because of disease, or the mother dying because of childbirth, or someone, I just heard a story of someone they drank something and then they were really, really sick. Back in the day, that was normal. That was normal. That's why our bodies can handle a lot more than we think. Not like processed things like sugar and everything else. But if you were alive, say 20,000 years ago, you were at war. All we did was fight. We fought for control of land. We fought control of resources, food, areas where there was animals that we were looking to kill to eat. Everything. We fought wars almost daily. Like, it's insane that we can make it out. We can make it out of the actual animal kingdom that was trying to kill us. And it goes over that, which is there's three brains that we got. We got the reptilian brain, or they call it the lizard brain, the core brain, which is survival. This is where we get the instincts to do and not do things based on survival. Ask for the raise, approach the girl, da-da-da. We put meaning on the rejection. But the lizard brain thinks that's survival, and we're fearful if we do that we're gonna die. But we're not gonna die, because back in the day we did die. If we approached the girl and everyone in the tribe knew that that I was a loser, or I wasn't fit to start a family, then I was outcasted. I wasn't able to have children, born children. And then I wouldn't be able to pass on my genes to a baby. And back in the day, that meant potential death or outcast, like I said, from the tribe, and then death. So we now bring a 50, 60,000 year old brain to today that is not helping us at all. So Sapiens is a book that has changed my life. It has changed my life. We put way too much meaning on things that we shouldn't. Money and resources. We literally conjure up in our brain fearful events that may not have, that 99.9% don't happen. What if I go up and I talk to that girl? She's gonna throw a drink in my face. Or what if I ask for the raise and the boss fires me? That's not gonna happen. We think, and this is another thing, I got this from Tony Robbins, but We will do anything to avoid pain rather than gain pleasure. In other words, we would rather stay stuck in our habits because our brain, that's what our brain is meant to do, is survive. That's all we're doing. Survive and procreate. That's the only reason we're here, is survive and procreate. So you see someone that you're attracted to, you go talk to them. Whatever, survival is, I see food, I want to eat it. But there's so much food and it's so easy to get food nowadays that we overeat. And we'd rather be comfortable overeating than be happy with more energy by eating right. All right? That's a little off the topic, but it all goes back to survival. You have to read the book. You can see it and hear it in my voice. I learned so much from it, and the biggest thing is that be gracious right now, every morning of waking up, that you are not going out and having to fight a tribe, to fight to get food, to fight to get money, water, is that you literally have money to get that. Back in the day, if you drank water that had parasites or something in there, you would have diarrhea, you would potentially die, you'd get maybe a skin infection. It's amazing. We made up literally everything we made up. Everything. We made up a bag that cost $5,000 as opposed to a bag that cost $100. To actually make the bag was roughly right around the same price. It was probably $20 or less. $20 to $25 is right around the same price. But why is it 10 to 15 times more than the other bag? 50, 500 times more than another bag. It's because we put meaning on a logo, and that logo is made up. The meaning to everything is made up. It's all made up. We created it. So anyway, go out and read the book. It is an amazing book. Subscribe to the videos. I come out with a video every single week. I'm going to be talking about a mostly male kind of book after this called No More Mr. Nice Guy, which I read directly after Sapiens. Go out and buy Sapiens. Link is below. It's affiliated, so I get like a couple of pennies if you buy it. I have to give you that, so people are like, oh my God, Charles is making blah, blah, blah. So that's my disclosure or whatever. Subscribe to the video. Talk to you guys soon. Go out, read it. Have an awesome day. Talk to you soon. Welcome to my bedroom. First of all, we have to talk about how to actually wake up. Number one is you need blinders.